Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Cheryl from Orb Coaching. I offer three primary coaching services: business life and professional business English. Thank you to everyone for joining me today, and I hope that you get some useful tips and insight into what a coaching session could look like and the value that you could get from embarking on services such as professional life and business coaching as well as mentoring. So I'm going to very briefly talk to you about a client that I had a session with last Friday. I can't go into too much detail because of confidentiality, but enough just to touch on the message that I'd like to pass on to you today. So this is a client who is in a leadership position and needs to up her executive leadership communication skills and is struggling with projecting the right image and a clear message. So what we did in our session last Friday was I sort of asked her if she could run through a hypothetical meeting with me so that I could understand how it would look like from her side and for me to try to understand what the message would be and how she is presenting herself so that I could pinpoint the areas that we could work on, build and develop and structure. So she went through this with me and in essence, and she knew this and she felt this, it was actually all over the place. Um, there was no key message throughout the sort of hypothetical meeting that she held with me. There was a lot of input and words like I feel, I think, I don't think, and a lot of ums, ahs, to fill in the spaces. Um, Whilst that's okay to have these sort of interjections now and again, to overuse them doesn't sound very professional. There's no fluidity with the message that you're trying to pass over, and also you look like you're lacking confidence. So, with this in mind, I completely switched the whole style of how she delivers a meeting. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold, so I have to drink. Um, just one moment, please. So I completely switched around the whole approach and style of her meeting. What do I mean? When she came in and she was delivering this, I was really listening to understand what was the message. So, what's the message she would like to deliver? What is the outcome she wishes to deliver? Who is her audience and who is she in this setting? As in level and seniority, and what are the expectations of her, as well as what are her expectations from the person whom she's having the meeting with. In the beginning, the first time she went through it, it was a lot of feelings and expressions to convey her feelings, but at the same time, very direct. So it was very, very mixed messages. On one hand, telling me how she feels, so this sort of empathic, compassionate side, but in the same stroke, being so direct that I wasn't sure if her feelings and compassion were sincere or not, because they all seemed misplaced and the message was getting lost. There was also quite a lot of ownership on the other person, which removed the potential for collaboration. So we needed to get rid of all of this. I helped to restructure. We came up with the two key things that the message that she wanted to convey with the project that she's the project manager of in this leadership position. And the two messages were continuity and clarity. I gave her these two words and I asked her, is this really what you're the essence of this meeting? Because this is how it sounds to me. She said, absolutely. I said, okay, now you're going to structure this meeting using those two words, and they're going to help you anchor yourself when you start to get lost or digress or go off in different directions. We're also going to start off with what your position is, what your expectations are, what you need for this project to be successful, and your ideas on how you want to move forward. Then open up the floor to the other person, that if they have some ideas that could be mutually beneficial to themselves and the project, that you're open to hearing it. And then go into, I feel that this will help us be more collaborative, have continuity, and have clarity. So then you can add the empathic, sort of compassionate side of yourself, so that she doesn't lose her personality, because she really is a collaborative worker. We worked on this for the whole session. At the end of it, because it was structured and clear, there were only 2 ums and ers throughout it. It was very clear. She sounded much more assertive, much more confident, and if she was my leader, I would now listen to her. Where at the beginning, when she came into the session with me, I wouldn't have taken her that seriously. So all of you, be very, very mindful that if you're not structured and you yourself don't really know what you want, what your expectations are, how you want to go about it, the audience and the other people are going to feel that. They're going to sense it, and they're not going to have that much confidence in your convictions. Okay? This is another massive benefit of embarking on a professional business, life, and communication coach and mentor. We did this in 50 minutes. She felt absolutely fantastic, completely prepared, and immediately after our session went into that meeting, messaged me after and said, absolutely great. That also reduced her workload by about 8-9 hours. Okay, so that's also the what do we call the intrinsic value as well, okay, of these sessions. So be mindful of your message. Make sure that you've got some really clear points in there. Do not, and also that your message is not mixed. So on one hand, trying to show compassion, but in the same brushstroke, being so direct that it's quite passive aggressive, and that your audience would be completely confused with what you're trying to convey. So keep brushing up on your skills, keep working on or developing yourselves, and that the clarity of your message, so that everyone can have more collaborative, open, communicative relationships, and take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Bye.